JavaScript, server-side JavaScript. If you want to learn client-side JavaScript or server-side JavaScript, first what you require? JavaScript language basics. JavaScript language basics. You are learning. Say JavaScript language basics. If you are familiar with this one, then you can learn client side or server side, both also parallelly not possible. But for your career, only client side JavaScript required. Okay. Those who joined mean stack, Mern stack courses, for them, server side JavaScript also required. For you, not required. Python student, Java student, .NET student, it is not required. Okay. But for all the people, language basics required. Language basics in all programming language same, but concepts different, syntax different. But these all first you have to learn. Already I told you what are those? Identifiers, keywords, literals, data types, variables, program structure, type conversions. Next, operations on data, operators, control structures, control flow statements. In any programming language,
This meeting is being recorded.
C++, Java, Python, C#, or JavaScript, any programming language, first you should familiar this 10. Then you will get a syntax. Okay, syntactically you will become strong once if you know language basics. In any programming language, this 10 you have to learn first. Okay, any programming language. Now, here JavaScript divided into two parts: client-side JavaScript, server-side JavaScript. Okay, client-side JavaScript only you are going to learn. Server-side JavaScript nothing but Node.js, Express.js. Those two not required for Python students, Java student, .NET student not required. Mean stack, Mern stack students only required. Okay. So client-side JavaScript you are going to learn. Client-side, what JavaScript can do? I given 10 plus points last class. What JavaScript can do? JavaScript can change HTML element. Next, JavaScript can change. JavaScript can change HTML attribute value. Next, JavaScript can change CSS style. Next, JavaScript can add element, can add new element. Okay. Next, JavaScript can remove an existing HTML element. Next, JavaScript can add new attribute value. Next, JavaScript can remove an existing attribute. Next, JavaScript can react to all HTML events. Next, JavaScript can add new event. Next, JavaScript can remove an existing event. Next, JavaScript is also used to validate HTML forms. Total 11. 11 I given. That is client-side JavaScript. That purpose you are learning JavaScript. Okay. So, in a one word, if you want to say, JavaScript is used to add dynamic behavior. That is one word. Okay. Validating also there only. Now, so that is only 11 points I given. You can add element, you can remove element, you can add attribute, you can remove attribute, you can change the CSS style, you can change the HTML content, you can change the HTML attribute value, you can add new event, you can remove existing event. But JavaScript can react to all HTML events also, and it is also used to validate HTML forms. The 11 I given, those all very depth you have to learn. That is JavaScript, the actual usage of JavaScript. at client side, the 11 points. But directly you cannot learn. First, this is compulsory. Okay. These 10 concepts, if it is completed, then you can start that one. Got it? That's what I started. Identifiers, keywords, literals. Last class, these three over, no? Identifiers, keywords, literals. Now, identifier, some rules are there. Rules. Now, in an identifier, can I write capital letters? Yes. Small letters? Yes. Can I write digits? Yes. But first letter we cannot write. Second letter onwards. Okay. Next. Can I write special symbols? How many symbols allowed? 2. What are those? Underscore, dollar. Can I write white space characters? No. Space bar, tab, enter keys, not allowed. Not allowed. Is there any limit in the length? No. These all. Java also same, no? But Python, one difference is there. Identifier rules. In a Python, dollar supported? No. Python doesn't support dollar. But Java, JavaScript supports. Okay. That's what you have to learn. Here you observe identifiers, Java identifier, JavaScript identifiers, same, no change. But Python doesn't support dollar symbol. In a dollar you cannot write, no? So like that. Yeah, that's what you have to learn. Keywords. Keywords, can we write in capital letters? No. All keywords must be written in small letters only. But Python, 3 keywords are there. Capital letter required, no? True, false, none. T capital, F capital, N capital. That is Python. But JavaScript is all small letters. Okay. Java also all small letters. Okay. Next, how many keywords are there at present? At present, 48. Initially, 56. How many newly added? 8. How many removed? 16. Somebody's phone is ringing. Just switch off. Now, initially, how many? 56. How many newly added? 8. Then 64. How many removed? 16. At present, 48. 48. This keyword number may increase, may decrease, may be happen. Keyword number. Keywords number, they may increase, may decrease. They'll update every day. Language. JavaScript made for internet applications. Internet application purpose, what are the languages are there? Internet daily they are updating. Like that, programming language also updated. That's what keywords may be increased or decreased, maybe happen. Okay. See, in Java also, so many keywords are there. Starting 47, later 50. Now 60 plus keywords are there. 60 plus keywords. Recently 10 plus keywords added. Like that. In a Python also, they are updating every day. I think 36 keywords are there. Python. Okay. Like that, number, it may increase, decrease. They are updating everyday language. At that time, it will increase, it will decrease also. Maybe happen. Okay. Now, keyword, can I use as an identifier? No. Keyword cannot be used as an identifier. You have to remember. Okay. This is over. Next, literals. How many categories of literals? How many? 4 categories. What are those? Numeric literals, string literals, Boolean literals, object literals. See, observe. Python, Java, different, no? Now, numeric literals, how many subcategories? 7. What are those? Binary literals, decimal literals, octal literals, hexadecimal literals, floating point literals, exponential literals. Which one? Begint literals. Begint. It is on begint literal, not there, no, in other language. It is somewhat different. That's what. Don't neglect fundamentals also. Okay. Don't neglect. Fundamentals also required to in interview. Okay, most important. Writing program purpose, syntax purpose required. Even if you are perfect in Java, you have to learn. Even if you are perfect in Python, you have to learn. Even if you are perfect in C Sharp, you have to learn. Compulsory. Syntax is mandatory. Okay. 6 categories of literals in Java, but 4 categories of literals in JavaScript. In Python, also 4 categories of literals. So literals are different. Language different is there. Okay. Now, data types. It is totally different. Compare with Python also different. Compare with Java also different. Compare with C Sharp also different. Totally different. Now, next heading, data types. Noted. Next heading, data types. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. Say, a data type that determines what value variable can hold and what are the operations can be performed on variable. So, data type decides what value should contain, variable should contain, and what are the operations possible. Suppose operations nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo division, less than, greater than, 40 plus operators are there. Those all possible or not possible, decided by data type. That is data type. So 40 plus operations are there, but all operations you cannot perform in all data types. Suppose strings are there, you cannot perform. Very few possible. If numeric literals are there, all operations possible. Numeric literals. But in here, string you cannot perform all operation. Boolean you cannot perform all operation. Object literal you cannot perform all operation. But numeric literal we can do all like that. That is decided by data type. And also here somewhat different JavaScript. Without data type, we can write data type. It is dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed. Okay. Now Java, strictly you have to specify data type, otherwise error. But Python JavaScript supports. It is dynamic typed. Without data type, we can write data type. We can write variable. That is dynamic typed. Type decided later whenever value comes. This is called dynamic typing as well as loosely typing or weakly typing also we can say. Weakly type. Now note on that point. JavaScript is dynamic typed programming language because here data type decided dynamically whenever variable is initialized. JavaScript is dynamic typed programming language because here data type decided dynamically whenever variable is initialized. So Here data types are there, but no need to write. Type automatically decided whenever value comes. That's what it is called dynamic typed. It is dynamic typed. See, for example, int x equal to 10. Generally, this is every programming language we use. Okay. But here we should not write data type. Here separate keywords are there. Where, let, constant. 3 keywords are there. What's the difference also you have to learn. Okay. Let is there, where is there, constant is there. These 3. With this only we'll write. Okay. Even if you are familiar with Python also different, JavaScript also different. Python scripting will be there, JavaScript, but both are different. That's what you have to concentrate. You have to concentrate. You're totally different. Okay. Python scripting will be there starting. Python script type appears, but Java data types, by JavaScript data types, completely different. That's what Java people, .NET people, all people, Python people, all people you have to learn. You have to concentrate. Don't neglect these basics. Okay, 10 basics, don't neglect. Important. Already told you many times, with only JavaScript also so many opportunities are there. With only JavaScript. How much importance you are giving for Java, .NET, Python? That much importance is there for JavaScript. HTML, CSS, leave it. But JavaScript is most important. Okay. Now, you have to put efforts, you have to work hard for JavaScript. JavaScript, not so easy. It's like a Python, Java, .NET, that type only. Okay. Syntax is totally different. You have to put efforts. Now, you observe, here what we'll do is, here let x equal to 10. We'll write, let x equal to 10. But let is not a data type. Let is not a data type. Okay. But with let keyword we'll write. Okay. Then what will be happen? This 10 is going to be stored in x. 10 is going to be stored in x. Then that x nothing but number type. Number type. But number type is not there in Java, no? Java int float will be there. Python also not there, no? Python also int is there. Like that. Here different. Python different, JavaScript different, Java different. It is number type. Number type. Okay. This 10, when you write 10, it will be number type. Suppose if you write let y equal to 10n, if you write, it is begin to type. This y is begin to type. But keyword let only. Both the sides. Here let x, here let x, let y. But you are writing let. But this x is number type. This y is begin to type. These are data types. But type we are not writing. That's what here. This when here what I given, JavaScript is dynamic typed programming language, because here data type decided dynamically whenever variable is initialized. See here x is initialized with 10, then type decided it is number type. Here y initialized with 10n, then y is decided begin to. Like that JavaScript. That's what it is called dynamic typed programming language. Okay, dynamic typed programming language. We can also call loosely typed programming language. We can also call weakly typed programming language. Reason, without type we are writing. That is the reason loosely typed. And there in a Java, strictly typed Java. But Python also support dynamic typing. But Java, strictly you have to specify. Okay. Python scripting is there. Separate scripting code snippet type. But Java not there. That's the reason strictly typed. Okay. Here loosely, weakly we can say. There Java we can say strongly and tightly, like that we can say. That is one type. Okay. Here that's what you have to concentrate. Even if you are familiar with other languages also, you have to work hard for JavaScript. Okay. Now, note down, JavaScript is also called as weakly typed programming language or loosely typed programming language? Because it does not require to specify the data type. It does not require to specify the data type. JavaScript is also called as weakly typed programming language or loosely typed programming language because it does not require to specify the data type. Data type no need to specify. That's what weakly typed or loosely typed. But in Java, compulsory you have to specify. That is called strongly typed or tightly typed, we can say. Different terminology. Okay. But why we are calling dynamic typed? When value comes type decided. That is the reason dynamic typed. But the Java static typed. In the program only will specify type. Okay. Here type decided later also while running program also possible. When value comes specific, that is decided. That's what dynamic typed. Okay. Why we are calling dynamic typed? Because type decided dynamically. Why we are calling weakly typed, loosely typed? It does not require to specify the type. That's the reason weakly typed, loosely typed. Okay. Like this. In interview, they'll ask this about these points. Compulsory. Here, dynamic typed, loosely typed, strongly typed, this weakly typed. Different meaning comes. Dynamic typed means type decided dynamically. That is the reason dynamic typed. But weakly typed, loosely typed, that means it doesn't require to write data type. That is the reason we are calling like that terminology. But at last, these all both the meaning same. We are going to write let x equal to 10. Let x equal to 10 we are writing. But both the meaning same appears in a coding. But theoretically different appears. In both the cases, you are not writing data type. But when type is decided, while whenever value comes, that is the reason dynamic typed. Are you writing data type? No. That is the reason weakly typed or loosely typed. Like that we are calling. Terminology important. Remember. Okay. Even if you are Python, Java, .NET, any student, you put efforts, work hard. All people. Okay. Now, list of data types. Note down. List of data types. First one, number. Second one, string. Big int. Third one, string. Fourth one, boolean. Fifth one, object. Sixth one, null. Seventh one, undefined. Eighth one, symbol. List of data types. Number, big int, string, boolean, object, null, undefined, symbol. See, Java, JavaScript different, no? Python, JavaScript different, no? Completely different. That's what you have to concentrate. You have to concentrate. Even if you are familiar with other languages, you put efforts, work hard for JavaScript. Don't neglect. Don't neglect. It is full-fledged separate programming language. It is not a part of Java. No. Is it over? See, in Java, what are the data types are there? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. These all. But in Python also different, no? str, bool, these are different, no? Python data types. List, tuple, frozen set, these all dict, collection types, special types, bytes, range, byte array. Those are different. Python data types different, JavaScript different, Java different. You observe, complete different. That is the reason you have to work hard. Okay. Python also different, JavaScript also different, and Java also different. Full-fledged independent programming language. This is also. Okay. Now, say in Java, 8 data types are there, primitive data types. But in Python, 14 data types are there. Fundamental types, collection types, special types, categories are there. Those all. Python 14 data types are there. But in Java, 8 data types are there. JavaScript 8 JavaScript 8. Java also 8. But 8 different, no? Not same. It is totally different. Okay. Now, here types no need to mention. Reason weakly typed, loosely typed. No need to mention. But when it is decided, runtime. That's what dynamic typed. This is about data types. 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Next, fifth one, variables. Here, from year onwards, up to year different will be there. Up to year different. Now, variables also different, program structure also different, type conversion different, operations on data different. These two similar will be there. Maximum Python style, Java style, mixed. Maximum. That's what. These two, what I'll do, depends upon your answers, I'll finish. If you answer very quickly, if every question, if you answer very quickly, I'll finish these two. Then actual JavaScript, I'll start. Okay. That's what. Whatever you studied, operators, control flow statements in Python class, Java class, .NET class, you prepare and come. Then very quickly I'll finish. But up to here, compulsory you have to learn. It is completely different, not same. Compulsory you have to learn. Okay. Up to these 8 concepts, compulsory you have to learn. These two, maximum same. In a Java, Python, if you compare, maximum same. Little bit different. Okay. That it depends upon your answers. Very quickly I'll finish. Next one, variables. Note, a variable is a container which contains data. 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 Here, say, if you write let x equal to 10, if you write, this x is a variable which contains 10. That's what we are calling x is a variable which container, which contains data. X is a variable which contains 10. That's what we are calling like a container. Okay. Now, in JavaScript, variable can be declared and initialized by using var keyword. In JavaScript, variable can be declared and initialized by using var keyword. So initially var came. Recently, let and constant keywords are introduced. Recently, let and constant keywords were introduced. Recently, let and constant keywords were introduced. So previously, var. Recently, let came, constant came. Now, here, which one we have to use? What is the difference between let, constant, var? Today, not possible. While teaching functions, I'll explain. Okay. Var, let, constant. You better to follow let. Don't use var, don't use constant. After teaching, you start var constant. Difference is there. Var we should not use, leave it. Let constant you have to use. Var also I'll explain. Some difference is there. That's the reason let keyword came. Okay, why let keyword introduced, I'll explain. Var, let, constant. 3 concepts. There is a difference between var also, let also, constant also. There is a difference. The difference today not possible to explain. Scope related concept will be different. That I'll explain further sessions. Present, I'll start with let. Okay. Next. Declaration. Declaration. Syntax. Let variable semicolon. Let variable semicolon. Semicolon optional. In Java compulsory. Python also optional. Let variable semicolon. Example. Suppose let x. It is called declaration. Just memory allocated. Assignment. Syntax. Variable equal to literal. Let x. That is declaration. Assignment syntax. Variable equal to literal. Example. X equal to 10. So let x memory allocated x equal to 10. 10 will be stored in that memory. Assignment. Initialization. Initialization. This all I'll make it fast because everyone knows. Syntax. Let variable equal to literal. Let variable equal to literal semicolon. Example. Let x equal to 10. Variable declaration, variable assignment, variable initialization. If you declare, memory allocated. If you assign, value will be stored. If you initialize, both will be done at a time. Okay. Note. Here semicolon is optional. Here semicolon is optional. See, semicolon, it is optional. If you write also, nothing will happen. If you don't write also, nothing will happen. Okay, optional, not compulsory. Java, it is compulsory. Python, it is not compulsory. Now Java people, what you do is write it better. Here if you don't write, there also you may forget. Okay, Java people compulsory write. Python people, whatever you studied, that style you follow. Either write or not, whatever you studied, that type you follow. Python also, if you write better only, nothing will happen. They are also working, no? They are also working. Here also working. Continue. It is more better because only two, three language semicolon optional, but many language semicolon mandatory. That's the reason. Right. If you write also, nothing will happen. Works. That's what. Continue. Okay. Here semicolon is optional, not compulsory. Now here identifiers, keywords, letter. Yeah, C# also mandatory, C also mandatory, C++ also mandatory. That's what many language semicolon compulsory. Python supporting, JavaScript supporting. without semicolon. Better to write semicolon, nothing will happen. Anyhow working, no? But there if you don't write, error comes. Now, 5 concepts you have seen. Identifiers, keywords, literals, data types, variables. Now, program structure. You studied CSS. How many ways to apply CSS? 3 ways. What are those? Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. Now program JavaScript program also same style. Inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, external JavaScript. See. Now, next heading, program structure. Program structure. Program structure. Node. There are 3 ways to apply JavaScript. First one, inline JavaScript. Second one, internal JavaScript. Third one, external JavaScript. There are 3 ways to apply JavaScript. Inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, external JavaScript. There are 3 ways to apply JavaScript. First one, inline JavaScript. Second one, internal JavaScript. Third one, external JavaScript. You studied inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. When we are to use inline CSS, one property for one particular element, then inline CSS. When we are to use internal CSS, one particular web page, then internal CSS. When we are to use external CSS, multiple web pages. Studied, no? Remember, don't forget. And if you want to write inline CSS, what we record in HTML? Style attribute. Internal CSS, style tag. External CSS, link tag. In link tag, how many attributes are there? 2. What are those? REL, href. REL equal to what you have write? Style sheet. Href equal to CSS file path. Okay. See, these all repeatedly asked. That's what remembered. Otherwise, you'll forget. Okay. That is the reason only. First day onwards, again and again, I repeated. Otherwise, you'll forget. That's it. Okay. If I don't ask any question, you'll forget subject. With repetition only, you remembered. Okay. Here, inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, external JavaScript. 3 are there. Same. Say file open something demo.html. No. Okay, these all complete. I'll remove. HTML open, HTML close. Okay. Body open, body close. Suppose you want to create one button. Then what we have to write? Input type equal to button. Button one more way also possible. No? Button tag also is there. Okay. Input type equal to button. One button created. See, it is a button created. This button label, button caption, if you want to write, which attribute? Value. Value equal to, suppose, something background color. I'm writing. Okay. Now you observe, I written background color. Okay. Like this I written. Here, background color I written. What I want is, when I click, one background color should come dynamically. That dynamic behavior. Now actually this background color white is there. White is there. In the program I didn't write. By default white is there. When I click button, the background color, I want any other color. Okay. Otherwise, suppose here, suppose this background something red. Okay. Like this 3 buttons I'll write. Suppose one more button green. One more button blue. Okay. Red, green, blue. So suppose like this here, red, green, blue. Now this background color I want to change. When I click, I want to change. That is called dynamic behavior. For this, you have to write JavaScript. Okay. When I click red button, background color should be red. When I click green button, background color should be green. When I click blue button, background color should be blue. That is my task. Then you have to write JavaScript. That is dynamic behavior. But already given HTML purpose, CSS purpose, JavaScript purpose. Remembered or forgot? Remembered? What is the purpose of HTML? To create a web page. What is the purpose of CSS? To design a web page. What is the purpose of JavaScript? Validating HTML forms as well as adding dynamic behavior to a web page. First you will learn adding dynamic behavior. Last you will learn HTML form validations. Okay. Now adding dynamic behavior you are going to learn first. Adding dynamic behavior. That is you are going to learn. Now here, suppose when I click red button, the background color should be red. When I click green button, the background color should be green. When I click blue button, background color should be blue. Now I want to write JavaScript only, complete JavaScript code only for this button. Inline JavaScript. I want to write one common code in the HTML program for many buttons or many tasks. Then internal JavaScript. I want to apply to multiple HTML pages. External JavaScript. Same style. Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS you studied, no? Almost like that only. Okay. But inline JavaScript, if I explain now, you'll get a confusion. That is later. Okay. Now internal JavaScript I'll explain. Internal JavaScript. Okay. Now here I want to write a JavaScript code only for this button. Inline JavaScript. I want to write a JavaScript code for this total HTML page. I want to use repeatedly. Internal JavaScript. Repeatedly many places I want to apply. Internal JavaScript. I want to apply to multiple HTML pages. External JavaScript. Okay. That notes also I'll give later. Present, I'll start with internal JavaScript. Okay. Here, if you want to write inline JavaScript, HTML event handling also required. See, like this we have to write on click on attribute. Here, you have to write JavaScript code. So, document, HTML document, it's an object. Here, that document is object. But in JavaScript, Python different. Without class, can you create object? Here, without class, object creation possible. JavaScript different. If you want to create an object in a Python also, C# also, Java also, class required first. But here without class only object can be created. That is possible. Later object oriented full-fledged released. Then same like a Java. First class, later object. That is there, this is there. Both are supporting now. JavaScript old style also working, new style also working. Java style also working. Okay. So almost latest JavaScript is Java style prepared. Not Python style, Java style only prepared. Because the given name is Java, no? That is the reason Java syntax followed. Okay. Later, that is 2016 onwards, totally JavaScript changed. JavaScript, that JavaScript also I'll teach. That is Java style they prepared. Okay. That is last topic, new features. Okay. So here on click, it is HTML. It is JavaScript. Document dot. Here methods will be there. Get element by ID. Suppose get element by ID. Suppose ID suppose demo ID. Okay. Here I'll write something ID equal to demo. This get element by ID. Here, if you write, okay. Here, this is called object. This is called method. But learning these all first syntax is required. No? That is the reason compulsory basics you have to learn. So directly inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, directly if I teach external JavaScript, these all, you'll get a confusion. Which is object, which is method, which is class, which is package, these all confusion comes. Okay. That is the reason you will learn first of all here. We are going to write document dot get element by ID and here ID. Then body tag comes. Body tag. Now what you can do for this body, you can add element. You can remove element. You can add attribute. You can remove attribute. You can add CSS style. You can remove CSS style. You can add event. You can remove event. And it can react to all HTML events. These all possible. That is client-side JavaScript. Okay, that type code you will learn later. First, JavaScript language basics should be completed. Okay, three ways are there. Like this, if you write inline, like this, if you write, okay, like this, if you write inline, what will happen? Confusion will be there. Here, document on object, it is method called. This ID matched, then this element comes. That element dot style dot background color. It is style property equal to something red. See, this is JavaScript code. Here, semicolon, not compulsory, optional. Say, file, save. Here, if I run red button, red background. See, again this code, I'll copy. See, this code, I'll copy. Here, just I'll write green. Here also that code I'll copy. Here I'll write blue. See, file, save. See, if I click red button, red background, green background, blue background. See, but this line, now this line confusion comes as now first as a beginning. First you should know this is difficult to manage this code. That's what you have to learn basics first. Okay, here it is an object. You observe, it is an object. Document is an object. This object, inbuilt object. But what is object? I didn't explain. But you studied Python student, Python class, Java class. You studied, you may understand little bit. Okay. But their creation of object in JavaScript creation of object totally different. There compulsory you have to create class, then only you can create object. But here without class object can be created. That type is there. And it is called method. But JavaScript support functions also, methods also. Outside the class is called function. Inside the class is called method. That type. And here, this attribute value, if it is matched, that element comes. That element style, background color property, I changed. Red color. So like that only green, like that only blue. But this code is difficult to manage. If it is possible here only, why internal JavaScript, why external JavaScript? So one line only, one property only, one concept only, if you want to apply to one particular element, inline. But inline, very rare situation we use. Maximum external we use. External, internal, little bit different. External CSS, internal CSS, little bit different. No? Just a style tag will remove, link tag will write. The total CSS code will write in separate file. Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS, you observe. One tag different. Code is same. Whatever you are writing in the same HTML program, the CSS code will write separate file. That file path will write in the href equal to. That is only different. Same style here also. Internal JavaScript, external JavaScript, only different. One file name, src attribute will be there. You have to specify file name. But inline, this is. Inline complicated. Inline difficult to manage. Inline very difficult to manage the code. That's what maximum internal, external. In real time, maximum external only we use. External if you use, what will happen? Multiple web pages you can apply same code. That is the reason we'll go for external. And then HTML code separate file, CSS code separate file, JavaScript separate code. But all if you write in one page, in real-time projects, difficult to manage. Now while learning, okay. Because learning what will be there, 10-line program, 20-line program, maximum 100-line program. But real time, thousands of lines will be there. Thousands of lines. Okay. At the time, difficult to manage the code. That is the reason maximum will go for external JavaScript, external CSS. Then what will happen? One program only HTML will be there. One program only CSS will be there. One program only JavaScript will be there. CSS file path, JavaScript file path will write in HTML. That's it. Then CSS style sheet applied, JavaScript validation applied, JavaScript dynamic behavior also applied. It is better, no? And if you want to update styles, open CSS modify. If you want to write validation changes, go for open JavaScript code modify. If you want to change the layout HTML, go for HTML program. 3 separate if you write, it is more better. Okay. This is internal inline difficult to manage, but inline now difficult to understand later. That is later. First fundamentals should be finished. These all fundamentals should be finished. Okay, then that type of programming starts. Okay. Now what I given see, there are 3 ways to apply JavaScript: inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, external JavaScript. Present internal JavaScript. Note internal JavaScript. It is used to apply JavaScript code to one particular web page only. It is used to apply JavaScript code to one particular web page only. To write internal JavaScript, we need script tag in HTML. To write internal JavaScript, we need script tag in HTML. To write internal JavaScript, we need script tag in HTML. You already studied HTML tags. How many categories of HTML tags I taught? 12. This tag comes under which category? Which one? Programming. Last category. Programming tag. It is programming purpose. This is especially program purpose. That's what programming tag. Okay, script tag. 12 categories of tags you studied. Remember tag categories? Remembered or forgot? Those who remembered answer first category, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, order may be different also, but 12. Next. What is it? Audio video. Next. Table tags next. Form tags next. Frame tags next. Semantic and non-semantic next. Meta tags next. Programming tags. Okay. Images and graphics tags. Say 12 categories of tags. 12 categories. This script tag comes under programming tag. Okay. Now next node. Script tag can be written in both head tag and body tags. Can be written in head tag or body tag. Both the places you can write, head also, body also. To write internal JavaScript, we need script tag in HTML. Script tag can be written in head tag or body tag. Now first I'll teach internal JavaScript. internal JavaScript. Internal JavaScripts also just a welcome program, not that style. That is later. Okay. Whatever I given, red button clicked, red color, green button clicked, green color, blue button clicked, blue color, those all, that is adding dynamic behavior. That is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I'll combine all. That is after completion of basics. So once if the basics are completed, JavaScript is very interesting, but basics little bit bore. Okay, but you should have a patience. Okay, this knowledge compulsory. Now, here how to write, I'll show you. Example. I'll remove this complete code. Present, not required this one. Later I'll show you. HTML open, HTML close. Body open, body close. Here script open, script close. Here you can write JavaScript. Okay. Suppose just I want to display welcome message. See, there is one object window. There is one object document. There is one method write. Welcome. I'll write. File save. If I run this program, you observe, you'll get a welcome. This welcome, it is not printing with HTML. It is printing with JavaScript. But your doubt is why this welcome HTML also possible. Okay. You are learning JavaScript syntax now. That is the reason. If you want to write welcome HTML only better. Why JavaScript? That welcome if you want to change. Suppose welcome place hello world. Then JavaScript required. Dynamically if you want to change. Okay. Now here this browser itself, it provides some objects. In that one object name is called window. It is a browser object. In that window, HTML document object. In a window object, document object, write method I called. Then welcome printed. But here window. In this current window, this is one object. This is considered as an object. Window is an object. In that HTML program is one more object. In that method is there, write method. Then it will write. Okay. Here, but window no need to write. It by default comes. That is browser object. This is this window dot. This is comes under browser object. This is comes under document object, HTML. So there are two concepts, DOM, BOM. Document object model, browser object model. While teaching that one, very depth I'll cover. Okay. DOM, BOM. These two most important topics for dynamic behavior in JavaScript. That is after basics only. Just once if the control structures, if it is completed, then I'll start. DOM, BOM. Okay. Now, document object model, browser object model. Browser itself, it will provide some objects. Window object, screen object, history object. These are browser objects. Browser itself, it will provide. There, one object is there, window object. In that window, document, HTML document. That document object, one method is there, write, to print the content. So that is welcome, I'm printing. Now, window, no need to write. By default window. That is current window. Window directly comes. Document, you have to write. Suppose only write welcome here. Error. That error not displayed here. That error if you want to see, right click, inspect, here console, here we can see error. Right is not defined. So uncaught reference error. Okay. Like this we can see. That later I'll cover everything. So what we have to do is we have to right click, we have to click inspect. Here we have to click console, then error message we can see. And even program you can write here itself. Document dot write. Suppose welcome to Naresh IT. See, 1 minute, right? A spelling mistake happened. See, document dot write. Program here also you can write. Their output displayed. In the browser only you can write. See, it is browser console. In this console, we can write program that output displayed here. But here if you write, there one more concept is there. Console.log. Here if you write, see, Hyderabad. If I write, here only displayed. That is not displayed there. Here displayed. The console. That is output window. So this is generally debugging purpose we use. Console.log. As well as server side programming people they'll use. But client side, document. Document.write. This is the right way. You are learning client side JavaScript. This is only best. Okay. Console.log also is there. And alert also. Alert dialog box you can display output. Those are later. That is validation. Window, here 3 different ways possible. Document.write possible, console.log possible, window.alert possible. Alert is validation purpose we use. Console is, that is server side JavaScript purpose better, debugging purpose better. But this is document purpose, HTML purpose, client side. It is better. Okay. Now, those all I'll cover later. Now, document.write welcome. If you write, here document is an object, write is method. But generally, in every programming language, that line first how to print welcome, that is required. But that concept you will learn very depth later. Suppose example Java, system.out.println. When you learn after 2 months, what is system, what is out, what is println. But first day only system.out.println. But about system.out.println, after 1-2 months you learn. In C#, console.writeLine. About console.writeLine, after 1 month you learn. But in Python, print. That is only print is there. That's what very quickly you learn. But JavaScript, Java and Python, .NET you observe. After 1-2 months you learn. Here also later, not possible now. Document is object, write is method. But what is object, what is method, I didn't explain here. Okay. Present internal JavaScript. It is one example. It is one example. Write this one example. Already written heading example. In that you write this one. Document.write. Present only terminology remember, it is an object. It is a method. It is a literal. It is a string literal. Document is an object, write is a method, string is a welcome is a string literal. Is it over? Document is an object. What is object later? Write is a method. What is method later? Literal already given. 4 categories of literals. The literals I'll show you now. Is it completed? So document dot write present up to that control flow statements like this I'll teach. Later I'll apply like event handling, button click, checkbox selected, radio button selected, those all after this fundamentals. After basics, those all. Okay, but up to that you should have a patience. Syntax is important, mandatory. It is Here, bore also you have to learn. Interesting also you have to learn. Easy also you have to learn. Hard also you have to learn. Okay. Some concepts are bore. Some concepts are easy. Some concepts are hard. Some concepts are bore and hard also. You have to learn. If required, you have to learn. Not required, don't learn. Required means you have to learn. That may be bore and hard also, but you have to learn. Okay. Now, it is an object. It is a method. It is a string literal. Okay. Now, 6 concepts completed. Okay, one program. Internal JavaScript, external inline JavaScript, external JavaScript later. Now 6 concepts you studied. Okay. Before going to this one, literals, how to write. See, how many categories of literals are there? 4. What are those? Numeric literals, string literals, Boolean literals, object literals. Okay. Now, first, numeric literals. Numeric literals, how many are there? 7. What are those? Binary literals, decimal literals, octal literals, hexadecimal literals. Okay. Next, floating point literal, exponential literals, big int literals. Now, first 4, binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal. Suppose one number 30. 30 base by default 10. It is nothing but decimal literal. Okay, decimal literal. Decimal literal, if you want to convert into octal, what will do? Divided by 8. Divided by 8. You will divide. Now, 8 3 is 24. Remainder 6. So 36. This is octal literal. This is 36 octal literal. Base is 8. It is octal literal. Next, suppose this 30, I want to divide hexadecimal. Hexadecimal base is 16. 16 1 is 16. Remainder 14. Remainder 14. Here 14. If the value is 10, that is A. 11 B. 12 C. 13 D. 14 E. 15 F. 16 again divisible, no? So 114. That means 1 E. This is hexadecimal literal. It is hexadecimal literal. Okay. Now binary 30. How to convert binary? 2. 2 15 is 30. Remainder 0. 2 7 is 14. Remainder 1. Next 2 3 is 6. Remainder 1. 2 1 is 2. Remainder 1. Now 4 ones and 0. 1 1 1 0. It is binary. This type of literals, if you want to write, how to write, I'll show you. If you want, you can note down. If you don't want, leave it. If anybody wants, you can write. How to write, I'll show you. If anybody wants, you can write. Because already you studied in Python class, Java class, .NET class. If you want, you can write, otherwise leave it. decimal literal, octal literal, hexadecimal literal, binary literal. Over. So decimal to octal conversion, decimal to hexadecimal conversion, decimal to binary conversion I given. Now directly if you want to write octal literal, how to write? I'll show you. Hexadecimal, binary, I'll show you. In other languages, Python or Java, whatever it may be, how will write octal literal? What will prefix? Base 8 mathematics, that is programming. What will prefix before literal? Octal literal, if you want to write octal, you'll write word. What will write? 0. We'll write 0. 0 if you write, it is octal literal. Hexadecimal, 0 x, 0x. Binary, 0b, 0b. But in JavaScript, octal literal 0 O will write, 0 also will write, 0 capital O also will write. Okay, that is only one difference is there. Now, is it over? No done. In JavaScript, octal literal must be prefixed with 0, comma 0 O, 0 small o or 0 capital O. 0, 0 small o or 0 capital O, comma hexadecimal literal must be prefixed with 0 small x or 0 capital X, and binary literal must be prefixed with 0 small b or 0 capital B. In JavaScript, octal literal must be prefixed with 0, 0 small o, 0 capital O. Hexadecimal literal must be prefixed with 0 small x or 0 capital X. And binary literal must be prefixed with 0 small b or 0 capital B. So in other languages, this 0 O doesn't work, but JavaScript 0 O works. That is difference is there. In other language, only 0 will write. Here 0 small o, 0 capital O also works. Is it completed? Say While writing octal, any one you prefix. While writing hexadecimal, any one you prefix. While writing binary, any one prefix. Okay. See how to write. Here, let a equal to one number 30. Let b equal to suppose just now I given octal number. What is octal number? 0 O. 0 small o or 0 capital O you can write, and after that number, octal number, what we got it? 30, 36. Say let c equal to 0x. Then what you have to write? 1e. Let d 0b. 4 ones 0. If I print document dot write a, document dot write b, document dot write c, document dot write d. Now see, you will get all output 30 only. All outputs 30, 30, 30. But how to display next line? Line break HTML. Okay. Write this one. Example. After language basics, JavaScript is very interesting, but you should have a knowledge on this compulsory. That's what, don't neglect. Be regular. This knowledge is mandatory to learn client-side JavaScript. Is it over? We'll see continuation tomorrow. Don't neglect basics also. Don't neglect.